Hello, everybody. Oh, sorry, bad headroom, terrible headroom. Hello, everybody. I'm BDIV, and welcome to BDIV and the Boys, the talk show where all sports are covered. Specifically today, I think it's pretty specific. I think it's pretty easy day for us. I mean, college basketball starts tomorrow with March Madness and NFL free agency. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and any of you can debate this with me. March is by far the best sports month of the year. By far. Listen, you have everything going on. NFL free agency, you got basketball going on. Hockey starts. Freaking baseball, which nobody cares about. But hey, I'll still follow baseball. Baseball starts up. Everything is going on at once. I think this is the best month of sports. But like I mentioned, what we're really going to be talking about is free agency today. About half the show. We'll split it up half and half. I'd like to really talk about college basketball. And again, if you have not joined our free $100 giveaway for our March Madness bracket, you fill out a bracket, share the post on my Instagram, and boom, you're in. Free money. That's basically what it is. It's just free money. Again, go to BDIV_ATB for free entry. All that jazz. For what I'm wearing today, it's gonna be hard to see, but I wore this shirt the other day. I love tater tots. It's not wrong. I love tater tots, and it's fitting because while this shirt doesn't fit, it's probably like a youth medium. I don't even know how I fit in this thing. But yeah, I love tater tots. It's just as simple as that. So again, I mentioned a few times, BDIV and the Boys, what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build some bigger shows. I got some shout outs lined up, stuff like that. So if you have any ideas, anything like that, that you think would help make the show prosper, make us better, road to monetization, that's the goal. We're looking to make money off this crap, okay? BDIVATB at gmail.com. Any ideas you have, anything like that, I'd love to hear it. I'm all for it. Yeah. So let's just dive right into things here. I got a few guys with me today. First thing we're going to talk about is college basketball and the March Madness tournament. March Madness starts on Thursday with the 11 and 16 seed games. So you have like UCLA, Michigan State, teams like that battling out, and we're going to talk about those teams in a second. Then Friday is where the real tournament starts. You're going to have a ton of games over a short amount of time. That's what's great about March Madness. You don't know who's going to win. Some of these teams have never even played each other before. That's usually how it works. Excuse me. So let's hop right into it. So the first question I have here is, what 12 seeded games are going to be moving on to the round of 32? And I'm going to bring in Brandon first. Brandon, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? How are you?
I am doing just wonderful. It's a beautiful day outside here in Pittsburgh. Everything's going great for me. So Brandon, I have a few games in mind already. So let me name you some of these 12 to 5 matchups, which are usually common upsets that people pick in their March Madness brackets. Number 12, Winthrop versus number 5, Villanova is one. Villanueva. Number 12, UCSB versus number 5, Creighton is another one. Number 5, Colorado versus number 12, Georgetown. And then you have number 5, Tennessee versus number 12, Oregon State. Now, before you give me an answer, let me just say this. In the past 40 years, there's been 50 12 versus 5 upsets, which is not great in the 12 seed's favor. Brandon, do you see any of these matchups going in favor of the 12 seed?
Is Georgetown the 12th seed?
They are the 12 seed, yes.
And I think they're going to upset them.
You think Georgetown gets the upset on this one?
Yes, because to me, coaching matters in the March Madness tournament. And Patrick Ewing, man, you know what I mean? He's Patrick Ewing, man.
A big part about this is coaching, and obviously player talent is probably number one, but right behind it, I think, is coaching. I could not disagree there. But I'm gonna bring in Alex now. Al, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Bill?
What's going on, Alex?
What's up, Brian?
Oh, nothing much. We're just here chilling. Let me change angles here. So, Al, we have starting on Friday. We have some big March Madness games going on. Out of those 12 to 5 matchups, who do you like here?
I really like Winthrop, a team that's 23-1. They take on a struggling Villanova team that lost to Georgetown in their conference tournament. And yeah, I see Winthrop pulling off this upset in the first round.
And I couldn't agree more. Villanova's kind of in a bad spot right now. I believe they're battling some injuries. Winthrop also. I mean, they have a pretty solid offense. They move the ball pretty well. Not so great on the defensive end, and inside they're okay as well. I like Winthrop in this matchup as well. Um, Alex, is there any other teams that you could see from those 12-5 matchups that maybe have a chance?
I'm looking here at my bracket. I'm gonna have to say I think Oregon State could definitely pull off an upset. They're coming off a tournament victory that got them an automatic bid. They take on a struggling Tennessee team, and I could definitely see that happen in the first round.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest again. In my bracket, I don't have any other team besides Winthrop beating a number 5 team. Which I mean, again, like I mentioned, you have only 50 wins over 40 years for 12-5 teams. So I mean, I guess that's not terrible, but again, I agree with Brandon though. Coaching does mean a lot. Patrick Ewing clearly, one of the best to ever do it. So obviously he sees at least from a competitive standpoint that this definitely means a lot, especially being the underdog in the match. So yeah, I agree with Brandon as well. In my March Madness bracket, I only have Winthrop winning out of those 4 games, but don't be surprised if Georgetown makes a run as well. So we're gonna move on to my next question: Who is winning on Thursday night? Now those Thursday night matchups. Let me just name those off here real quick. Um, just give me 1 second. I don't know why I didn't type these out. I apologize. I know one of them is Michigan State, UCLA. Alex, tell me about that game. Who do you think is going to win that one?
I'm gonna take Michigan State tomorrow night, or is that Thursday night?
Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Michigan State's hot as of recent. They've beaten 2 of the number 1 seeds in this tournament. They beat Illinois, and I also believe they beat Michigan. Yes, they did. So yeah, I'm going to take them over UCLA. UCLA played in a conference not as strong as the Big Ten. So I'm definitely going to go with Michigan State tomorrow night or Thursday night. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Yeah. Now, just a follow up question with that. If let's say Michigan State moves on against BYU, do you like Michigan State's odds of winning that next game against BYU on Friday?
Yes, I do. I'm definitely going to roll with Michigan State as long as they pull off the win on Thursday night. I definitely have them over BYU, and then I think they'll be able to give Texas. I believe, yeah, they'll play Texas. I think they'll give Texas a really good game too. I don't know about a win, but I think they'll give them a good game.
Yeah, I'll agree. There's a little bit of an echo. I apologize. But I also do like Michigan State here. Michigan State, UCLA, 2 teams that usually we see as a team that definitely gets a spot in March Madness somewhere from like a fifth, at least a fifth or sixth seed. But this year, Michigan State plays in the Big Ten and they went under 500 on the year in the Big Ten, playing against Big Ten teams. Their defense is okay. Offensively, the same way. They're a pretty good free throw shooting team, 73 a clip. I don't know. We'll see. BYU is a pretty good team as well. They're 1-3 against top 25 teams, which isn't a great record. However, their schedule has been nothing short of tough. Um, they just play teams outside of their division that really give them some trouble. But hey, they are 10-3 in their division and they're 20-6 on the year. So I don't know. I think definitely Michigan State can make a run for their money. UCLA, I'm not 100% sure, but we have these other games as well. We have a battle for the 16th seed, which is what team is that?
I got it right here, Bill. Norfolk
Yeah.
State and Appalachian State, Mount St. Mary's, and Texas Southern.
Yeah, Texas Southern. That's what I was reading. Um, I mean, they have they have the battle of having to go against a number one seed. I don't really even have to ask you guys, Brandon. I'll let you I'll let you answer this. Is there really any a chance that one of these 16 seeds could possibly make a an out of that?
No, I don't see it. These number one seeds this year are just too good. I don't see it
Yeah, I agree. These one seeds this year, I think these are probably the most stacked one seeds in a while.
easily.
Yeah, everybody's pretty deep, and that actually leads very well into our next question. So when we're looking at the final four here, I think there's a lot of outcomes here. But Alex, if you had to lock a final four right now, who are your locks for the final four?
My locks for the Final Four, I think definitely taking Gonzaga out of, I believe that's the East or that's the West. And then I think Michigan, who's struggling with injuries right now, just lost one of their best players in Isaiah Livers. I don't see them making it out of the East. So I'm going to take Alabama out of there. And then I like Baylor or Ohio State to come out of the South. I'll take Baylor there. And then I think Illinois is the best team in this entire tournament. So I'm going to take them coming out of the Midwest.
Now that's a hot take because Gonzaga has a chance of making history here. They could be the first team since '74 to go undefeated on the season and go 32-0 and win the entire thing. So I don't know if this Gonzaga squad kind of has a chip on their shoulder as a sense, but I think as far as my Final Four locks, I'd have to agree with you. I don't see Michigan coming out winning the East for the Final Four. They're definitely battling with some injuries. Isaiah, like you said, Isaiah Livers, he's battling a foot injury right now. Averages 13 points a game as well, and almost 32 minutes. So clearly he's a factor there for Michigan. And I like Texas this year. I think Texas is a pretty good pretty good squad. They're 7-6 against top 25 teams. They shoot 3 points they shoot the three ball pretty well, almost averaging 40% from the 3 point line. Their schedule was pretty tough, as I mentioned before. The Big 12 and the Big 10 are just powerhouses in itself, and to go over 500 in those conferences, I think is very is very good. However, they're very good offense. Their defense, I think, could be a little bit inconsistent sometimes, especially from the perimeter. But I do like Texas here. They're not battling any injuries, so I would definitely go Texas from the East. I'll have to agree with you. I like Illinois in the entire tournament from the Midwest. Um, I'm going to be honest. In some brackets, I have Ohio State losing early just because, it's March Madness. Anything can happen. I also like Ohio State going all the way to the South. And Baylor kind of had a scratchy ending to their season, and also they have Jared Butler's playing good basketball. So I don't know. I think Baylor's gonna be a tough one for them as well. But I do like Ohio State. They shoot the ball really well, almost 50%. So, but the problem is that they did lose some players at the beginning of the season. They were out for the season. And they're supposed to. There's one out right now, Kyle Young. I believe I don't know. He is a starter. Actually, no, he comes off the bench. He averages 8.5 a game with almost 6 rebounds. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's safe to say it's either Baylor or Ohio State in that sense. But I definitely think Gonzaga is going to win the whole thing. Brandon, you have any thoughts on your Final Four?
Yeah, I agree with you, Bill. I think Gonzaga is gonna win it all. I think they're too good. I love their team. I like the way they're built. I just think Gonzaga is gonna win it.
Yeah, and again, that Gonzaga squad, just like Illinois, who I think will definitely give them a run, it's deep, really deep. Both teams are deep. Gonzaga actually beat Illinois not too long ago, but again, I don't really think that matters that much because again, this is March Madness. Anything can happen. We've seen crazy upsets in the past, and that'll lead into our next question. Who's going to win it all? Al, I know you like Illinois, but is that who you're locking for the win? Oh, Al, I don't know if you heard me. Uh, For the championship lock, is that who you have, Illinois? Oh, oh, Al, I can't hear you, bro.
Actually, I'm not. I think Baylor's going to win it all. They have. I don't. I have.
Okay. Al, you're breaking up really bad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going
I'm
on.
going.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you sound a bit delayed. Are you caught up now or no?
Yeah, I know. I'm lagging. I'm lagging
All
a
right.
little bit here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you are really behind. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, Al. I'm gonna give you a second to catch up
Can you hear
real
me?
fast. Yeah, I apologize, Alex. You're a little behind. This is no shade to you. I'm sorry. But Brandon, again, you like Gonzaga. You like Gonzaga here, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Too
and
deep. Too good.
they are very deep. I mean, I have to agree with you here. This is the best team by far. They're the best
Yep.
in the country from field goal. They shoot 55%, and that's
That
amazing.
that's efficient, man.
That anything over 50 is crazy. Adding
Yep.
5% onto that is unreal.
Yep. That that shows they play as a team.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
take the
like.
highest, efficient, easiest shots.
Yeah, and they move the ball very well in a sense. They move the ball very well. I like Gonzaga here, especially with what's his name? Cody, or no, excuse me, Corey Kispert. He's averaging 19 a game, 31 minutes. So and 31 minutes for their best player actually isn't a lot. You see a lot of players average 35, 36 minutes. So that just tells you that not only that is this team deep, but like they have talent and they don't even have to play the whole game. So again, I like Gonzaga here. I think Gonzaga the whole way. As far as like their matchups go, I think there are some teams that could give them a run for their money. Number 6 USC, I think, is one of them. As weird as that sounds, I think that this is a team um, that is not bad at all. They're great on defense. They play in the Pac-12, so sort of some sort of some tough competition. But again, I don't know. I don't really see any team, really giving Gonzaga a hard time. Maybe number 2 Iowa with their powerhouse of an offense. They average 83 a game, which again is nothing compared to Gonzaga. They average 92 a game, which for college basketball, I mean, that's unreal. I mean, you sometimes you don't even see that much in the NBA. So
Mm-mm.
let me check on Al and see if Al is back caught up to speed. Al, are you back up on speed, bro?
Yeah, am I good now?
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
much
better
better.
now. Okay,
Okay.
so Al, while you were lagging, you had mentioned that you like Baylor. Tell me why you like Baylor here.
I do. They have two senior league guards in Davion Mitchell and Jared Butler who have been there, have been through the ring, and have really been great players for Baylor. And I think when it comes down to the nitty gritty, they're going to get it done for Baylor.
Yeah, again, Baylor, great squad. Um, Baylor finishing 22-2 on the year and a very again Big 12. They run the Big 12. They're 7-2 against top 25. They average 84 a game. Their defense is pretty consistent as well. Um, they shoot really well, just under 50. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the country, almost with 40 or at 41.8, so right under 42%. I think that this is a team that could really make a run as well. Um, yeah, so I like Baylor too. I just think Ohio State can give them a run for their money. Um, to be honest, I don't like the right side of the bracket really. I'm not a big fan of the South. I think Baylor it's either Baylor or Ohio State. Uh, like for example, like the number 3 seed Arkansas. I don't like Arkansas. I don't think that they're that crazy of a team. I actually think that they're going to lose to Colgate, number 14 Colgate. I have a big upset there. So, yeah, I don't really like Arkansas. Villanova's been kind of scrappy all year for a 5 seed. So, again, I don't know. Wasn't a big Purdue guy either. which Purdue's a good basketball team. Offense is okay. They don't shoot. They shoot pretty good, 45 from the field, and that just goes to show how good Gonzaga is. I mean, 55% is just it's just unreal. And the last question I guess I have for March Madness is the snubs. So let me talk about some teams that were the. Let me just mainly talk about the last four out. Here we go. So here are the four teams that I feel as if should have made it. So Louisville's number one. Louisville went 13-7 on the year. Now it's important to note that they were the first one, or they were the first team out, or not the first team out, but like the first team. If something were to happen, and Alex, is it Virginia that's in protocol right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing: Virginia is in quarantine right now. They're in protocol. Here's the thing: by Friday, they have to have two negative COVID tests before then, and they have to have if they have five guys that have completed their quarantine and all that, they are good to go. But if they don't have at least five guys, or the team gets another COVID issue, that's no good for them. They'll actually be replaced by Louisville. So those four teams that were out from the jump, that were this close to making it, they're going to be the replacements. So Louisville's number one. Uh, St. Louis is number two. They went 14-6 on the year, and I think the big thing with most of these teams is one, they didn't play as many games as some of these other teams have, and I think the number one thing is the strength of schedule as well. I think that's what the committee really looks at. And then two more, I have Colorado State sitting at 18-6. Again, I think that one is really just the lack of games, and then you have Ole Miss at 16-11. Alex, any of those teams you look at and go, I don't know how they didn't make it, or do you think that the committee did a good job there?
So two things about that. I think Louisville obviously should have been in. I think that was an agreement with pretty much everybody. I think Louisville should have been in. I think Utah State, even playing in a weaker conference, Louisville could have been in their place. But one team that doesn't get talked about that isn't even in the next four teams in is Belmont. Belmont has 26 wins, which is the same as Gonzaga, and they're
Oh
not even
my,
in contention.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's unreal. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if you're playing against eighth graders. I think if you win 26 games, there's no way
Yep.
you're not in the tournament. Even if you're playing in those like
Facts.
Thursday games where you have to fight for a spot. There's no way that you win 26 games and don't get any sort of seeding at all. I think that's a
That's
bit
crazy.
unfair. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that? 26 wins, not even in the last four.
That's like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. Like a team with 26 wins in college, then make the tournament, man, that's just unreal to me. And like you said, who cares who they played? 26 wins, you can't take that away from them. That's why I think I'll use basketball example. That's why when people say Bill Russell has 11 championships, but people try to downgrade because of the era he played in, I'm like, dude, who cares? He has 11 championships. You know what I mean? He won championships. So this notion that like you get punished because of the opponents you play is just absolutely ridiculous to me.
Now, in a sense, I agree with the fact that your strength of schedule matters a lot. Like, if you win, I think I'd rather have a team from like that's playing like Texas and Baylor, all them in like the Big 12, and then or excuse me, like the Big 10, and then you have teams from like the SEC, the ACC, which aren't bad conferences. But I think a team that has one or two losses more and say they're from the Big 12, I think they do deserve a higher seed than those teams that don't have as many losses in like the Atlantic Coast, stuff like that. So I think I think the committee did a good job, but 26 wins for Belmont. I don't know. I think Louisville's a tough one because they've had some COVID issues and they haven't played a tough a game, or not a tough a games. It doesn't even make any sense. They haven't played a lot of games, and I think that's what they really just took into account. There was not as many games. As far as the other teams, again, I don't know. St. Louis only 20 games on the year. Same for Louisville. Um, I don't know. I think Colorado State got snubbed 18-6. I think that's enough games to the point where, there's definitely a chance that you make the tournament, even if you're last four in. So I think that's
Bill,
all we have for.
one thing to add that's actually really interesting about the Final Four teams is, like, say for instance Baylor was to get a COVID case, they would be out of the tournament. Louisville would then become the number one seed in Baylor's place. So it's almost I feel like a COVID case is bound to happen somewhere down the line. So I feel like even being that first team out could really benefit you.
Aren't they in the bubble?
I don't know, because I believe those first four teams out are the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds in the NIT. So I'm not sure if they're in Indianapolis right now with the rest of the field or if they're somewhere else. So who knows?
Yeah, I feel like they should be in the bubble though. I feel like they should be.
They
Yeah.
probably should. They probably should be in the bubble because, again, I agree with Alex. With everything going on right now, and again, we're still a few days away. Like, we're still
Mhm.
3 days away from all this happening. So I think that something is bound to happen. That's my opinion. I actually see. I'm going to be honest. I don't. Virginia might be in trouble. I mean, we haven't heard much. We haven't actually gotten any positive news from Virginia. They're not in Indianapolis yet, so I don't know. I'm a little skeptical about them. There are some teams that are in trouble as far as COVID goes. So again, we'll see. But man, like imagine a team like Gonzaga just get one COVID case on the way to Indy, and they have to just turn
Yep.
back around and look at that. Louisville gets an easy matchup for probably 2 rounds, and then like that,
Yep.
like again, like Alex said, a first or one of those four teams that aren't in. I mean, that
They could be in good shape.
it could be
Yeah.
a really really good shit, and I think that's absurd to think about that really like that it's like that where.
Yeah, COVID's gonna have a huge impact on sports this year.
Well, I mean, clearly it has. When
Yeah.
Duke isn't even in the tournament, that's how you know something's wrong because Duke was playing pretty good basketball up until that point. Um, they wouldn't have had a crazy seed, but still, they would have definitely been in the tournament. So that shifted the whole tournament. Obviously, added another team to the bracket. So, yeah, I mean, COVID is going to play a huge role. And again, like I mentioned, if Virginia doesn't have to have 6, 7. They can have 5 guys travel to Indy and play, and that's all they need to have. So that's the minimum requirement. Which I don't know if Virginia would ever travel with just 5 guys to Indianapolis. I'm not sure that's really the best idea, but it's also, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Um, if that'd be a crazy story though. Like five guys just going and playing for their whole team, not getting any rest. I don't even see a win in that happening. But
With fouls and everything, I mean, that would just be a disaster.
Yeah.
oh god,
You're frozen.
Is that Bill frozen?
Yeah.
I think we lost.
oh come on.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah,
You're all right? Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
I
good.
hate when that happens.
You're good.
That always happens. It usually happens once or twice a stream. I apologize, but you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you're good, Bill.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But yeah, guys. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on here to the NFL. Again, I don't know if I'm lagging at all. I have no idea. I think I am a little bit, but here we go. So free agency frenzy. The free agency has been absolutely insane. From all these moves that have been happening not too long ago. I mean, today, yesterday, everything's just been unreal to say the least. Obviously I didn't take note of any of this stuff, but I know what's going on here. I told all the guys before the show, look, this is unscripted. We're not going to have anything scripted here. but we're definitely gonna have some stuff pulled up, money, contracts, stuff like that. So our source for pretty much everything is like three people: Adam Schefter on Twitter, Ian Rappaport on Twitter, and right now I have the CBS free agency tracker, which looks pretty legit. Yeah, you have 100 guys on here. I want to go over a lot of them and what teams exactly are doing. But the first team I really want to cover is the Steelers because obviously, I mean, look, like we're a Pittsburgh. We're a Pittsburgh. Yep, there's Mikey. Mikey, I'll actually bring you in first here, Mikey. So there he is rocking the Troy P jersey. Much respect. One of my favorite Steelers of all time. So here we go. I mean, the Steelers made some moves yesterday. Some moves that I don't know. I don't know, Mikey. I really don't know. First one, obviously the big one was Bud Dupree is going to head to Tennessee. About that contract, let me pull that information up right here. Where is it? It was right here. It was for a good amount of money. So Bud Dupree will sign a 5-year deal, which is crazy to me. 5 years for $82.5 million. That's a big chunk load of money. Mike, what do you think here? Is this a good move from the Titans?
Honestly, Bud Dupree is a lethal pass rusher. He's pretty damn good. But only thing that I'd worry about is that injury that he had. Didn't he tear his ACL or something?
I think he did tear his ACL. Yeah.
That's a hard injury to come back from. So
yeah, that's why again, like I'm gonna be honest, my favorite running back in the NFL is Saquon. I hate Penn State, not a Penn State fan, but I will agree. I think Saquon is probably the best, at least the most athletic running back in the NFL right now. And an ACL injury, I'm not really sure how that's gonna affect his style, affect his gameplay, but as for me, this kind of again all these moves. This is why I knew I was making my mock draft for next year. I knew that it was going to be way too early. I had Titans actually taking an edge rusher in the draft. Clearly, they don't need that anymore. Now they have a need at receiver because Corey Davis signed with the New York Jets, which I actually thought Juju was going to go. I thought that was going to be a good landing spot for him. But Mikey, I'll just ask you right there. Corey Davis to the Jets. What do we think about that? Is that a good move for the Jets?
I mean, yeah, it's a good move for the Jets. The only thing they need now is a good quarterback, or maybe some good coaches. That's probably the best. That's probably what they need the most is good coaches, because Sam Darnold has potential.
Yeah.
But
now listen,
their coaches are just terrible.
Yeah, I'm not an Adam Gase fan. I actually like the Dolphins. I think Adam Gase just said, you know what, F you Miami, I'm gonna make you a crap show, and then left. Now look at Miami; they're playing a lot better. I think that's another team that if they make some moves this offseason, could be a good team. We haven't seen much from them, but I think that's a good team. They have the number 3 pick in the draft, so we're gonna see what happens there.
Billy, the Dolphins actually just signed former Rams running back Malcolm Brown like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, Malcolm. Okay, so Malcolm. So again, he might not be a starting running back. So that brings up some questions here. What are the Dolphins going to do with that 3rd pick? In my opinion, I think they trade out of number 3. I think they trade for not a very late 1st-round pick, but a mid 1st-round pick for a team that needs a quarterback. Obviously, these teams are scrambling for quarterbacks right now. Patriots re-signed Cam Newton. The Bears signed Fitzmagic. Oh no, excuse me. The football team.
Yeah.
The football team signs Fitzmagic. Who did the Bears sign again?
The Bears got Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Yeah, so these are small contracts, but yet definitely can make an impact on a team. I'm gonna bring in Al now, Alex. So I'm gonna ask you about another player on our free agency list here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So the Patriots obviously are in headlines. They've spent more money than Bill Belichick has in his whole career for the Patriots in about 12 hours. So Al, with all these signings in New England, is there a chance that this team could really make a run?
I mean, it all just depends on the play of Cam Newton, in my opinion. If Cam plays like he did last year, I think they're what were they 7-9? I think it's a 7-9 season again. But I think I saw on Twitter they said they're not even done signing free agents yet. There's guys that I saw they were interested in like Chris Carson, some more good offensive weapons they could bring in. I think Kenny Golladay should definitely be a guy they should be looking at. Yeah, I think if they bring in a few more pieces and Cam plays well, I think the Patriots could be a wild card team because I think that's the Bills' division right now.
Yeah, and Mikey was the one that told me before we started. This is a team that just went out, spent tens of millions of dollars on players, and still has 34 million left to spend in this year. So this is a team that could really make some moves, sign some big names like Kenny Golladay. Again, another Juju landing spot that would make sense. Mike, out of these free agents, where is there any other names that come to mind when with New England?
Honestly, I have no clue what they're gonna try and do. I could see them maybe trying to get a corner, maybe William Jackson, but their defense or their whole team now is actually looking pretty good. With the 2 new tight ends that they signed, I think they're going to try and go back to that old offense that they had with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. Whenever they used 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and a running back.
Yeah, whenever Aaron Hernandez wasn't out killing people, that was the most lethal tight end core. Again, like Gronk just posing a deep threat, and Aaron Hernandez could probably again. I don't idolize somebody who killed people for fun. Okay, I don't like the guy as a person, but as a player, I can even go back all the way when he played to Florida. The dude literally could split out wide and run some pretty darn good routes for his size. I think if he didn't kill people, just like OJ. Okay, listen. I don't. Again, no worshiping murderers, but OJ, I think could have went down as one of the best running backs of all time if he didn't kill people. Juice was a real good football player.
Hey, you never know. Hey, OJ, you never know if he did it or not.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, no, I don't want to get into it, but Alex was in my forensics class. I did a whole OJ Simpson article on he did it. Okay, he did it. I'm 100% convinced he did it. There's blood in his car. There's blood in his hand. Oh, the glove doesn't fit. Shut up. No,
I agree.
He was off. He was off his arthritis meds. His hand was swollen. But again, we're getting off topic here. Again, these. I'm gonna be honest. I see what New England is trying to do here. This is a team. This is a team where Hunter Henry is also a receiving threat. Again, Mike, that was a perfect analogy actually. Hunter Henry's that guy who I would say is on the Gronk side, bigger blocking threat, and can also run some routes, jump balls, stuff like that. And then you have Jonnu Smith, who is Aaron Hernandez, who could split out wide, serve as a receiver, could even play slot if he really wanted to. So I could see what they're trying to do there in New England. And yeah. And speaking of, why am I saying speaking of? We're just gonna move on here. Let's talk about some corners in the NFL here. So obviously, Steelers' very own Mike Hilton is now a Cincinnati Bengal, and I'm gonna be honest, Alex. I know you like him too. I was a big Mike Hilton fan. I think Cam Sutton is the better coverage guy. However, Mike Hilton was a way better athlete, and I think he was a good run stopper and could play solid defense. Alex, how much do you think that hurts the Steelers' defense now without Mike Hilton?
I think it hurts the Steelers a lot, Bill. Mike Hilton's our slot guy, right? Played in the slot for us.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be. I mean, we'll definitely be able to bring in somebody to fill his spot, but I mean, honestly, I'm more hurt about that than I am about Dupree because I sort of figured Dupree was going to get paid somewhere else, but I really thought we were going to bring back Mike Hilton, and it hurts even worse that it was in our own division.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's like an unwritten rule in the NFL. You never go to a team that's one. Like if you're part of an AFC team, you don't go to the AFC. You go over to the NFC, let alone in the same division. So again, that hurts. I mean, we did keep Cam Sutton, who was our number one. Well, Joe Hayden was there too, but Cam Sutton was our number one corner. He played. He would play against like your Devontae Adams and your Stephon Diggs, guys who weren't in the slot. A great outside corner. I've said this for a while. I think Cam Sutton's the most underrated corner in the NFL. He's pretty good. He's great in man. Can play pretty well in zone, and yeah. So he asked in, and he's gonna get in. Brandon, what's up, bro?
Hey man, about the Steelers, man. Mike Hilton was a big loss for the Steelers, but I think the Steelers can replace him. Um, but the question is, there's been some chatter this offseason about the Steelers cutting Joe Hayden. Does this make it more likely that they keep Joe Hayden on the roster, in your
Um,
opinion?
I think I think Joe Hayden. I think Joe Hayden's a 1 year deal again. I think it just really depends. I think he is an older guy. He's inching towards the end of his career. Oh, I was just about to bring Josh in. Whatever. But yeah, I think he is inching towards the end of his career. Um, yeah, so I think they sign him to a 1 year deal, 1 year deal, 1 year deal. But I also wouldn't be surprised. There are some corners that in the draft that fall and right in the perfect spot for the Steelers, give good value there, even in the second and third round. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers go after a corner in the draft as well. So yeah, let's stay on the topic of corners. Shaq Griffin from the Seattle Seahawks, who is one of my favorite guys at corner. He's tall, he's fast, he has the whole package. He is now a Jacksonville Jaguar, and Mike, I'll ask you first. Do you think that Jacksonville is trying to bring back that Saxonville defense, if you will, um,
Yeah,
from
I mean
2016?
Jacksonville had a very good defense. They could have honestly won a Super Bowl with that
They
team.
could have with that 2016 squad. That was a really good football team.
And then they just fell off. They fell off the face of the earth. They ended up going I think they have the first or second pick now, right?
Yeah, so when Ramsey left after he got in a whole contract dispute, whatever, everybody followed.
Yep.
No more Ngogwe. I forget who else played for that squad. Leonard Fournette. Who else?
Calais
AJ
Calais
Boye.
Campbell. AJ Boye. Again, these are names that still are relevant in the NFL to this day. Clearly, Jalen Ramsey's arguably the best corner in the NFL right now. So, I mean, like, these are guys that are still relevant. And that Jacksonville squad, I agree with Mike, definitely could have won a.
They should have beaten the Patriots.
They should have beaten the
They
Patriots.
choked against the Patriots. They should have beaten them.
And I think if they would have gotten everything right, I think Tom Coughlin, who was then the GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think he did a really good job. And honestly, if he was in charge right now, I think there's a lot of guys who could definitely make an impact to their team, and I think they could definitely turn it around. You have Trevor Lawrence coming in, stuff like that. They also have a later pick in the draft or in the first round, so we'll see where that goes.
Well, Billy, one thing I do want to say about the Jaguars, they do still have $51.5 million left for their cap space. So I'd expect a couple more free agent signings coming soon.
And expect some draft picks too. They had said that they're shopping DJ Chark right now. Who again? I like DJ Chark. Yeah, they're shopping him. They're looking to trade him. I don't know why. They already had a pretty decent receiving core. I believe they just signed Marvin Jones Jr. from Detroit not too long ago. So and they gave him decent money for as old as he is. I think they overpaid him, but that's beside the point. I think that kind of solidifies more that Chark they might be trying to shop Chark. I think Chenault's another good player. I think he
Mhm.
stays a little bit. Obviously, they just drafted him last year, but yeah. So the Jaguars, I think, could turn it around if they get good value for Chark, who I think they should keep. And I would hope that DJ Chark would want to stay in Jacksonville when you get arguably one of the best quarterbacks. I'm just going to say it now. I think Trevor Lawrence will outperform most quarterbacks next year,
Oh
especially
yeah.
if you look at where. Oh wow, you don't agree with that?
Oh,
No.
I sense a hot take coming.
So where do you think like I would even say from like a fantasy standpoint, out of 32, where do you see Trevor Lawrence like falling for next year?
Um, I certainly think top 20. But I don't think he'll be the best rookie quarterback next year. I think if Trey Lance goes to Carolina, as I've seen in a lot of mock drafts, with the weapons they have in CMC, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and a great coach in Matt Rule, I think Trey Lance could be the best performing rookie quarterback next year.
Yeah, and I agree. I really like Trey Lance. You know, I
Trey
think
Lance is good.
his pro day really
Really
just
good.
proved us all wrong. Like, you know, all the draft analysts said, "Oh, well, Trey Lance, he's supposed to be like a project quarterback. You know, somebody that sits behind a vet for a while, and or another good quarterback. You know, I think he's probably pro ready. Um, North Dakota State is known for putting out good quarterbacks. Obviously, they just put out Josh Allen not too long ago. So I think Trey Lance will be
Carson Wentz.
ready. What's that? Oh, and Carson
Carson
Wentz.
Wentz.
Yeah.
Josh Allen went to Wyoming.
Oh, Josh Allen went to. I completely the colors are similar. I completely screwed it up. But even then, Carson Wentz, I think, isn't even a bad quarterback. I think he just never got the fair shot in Philly.
Oh,
So yeah, I think Trey Lance will be I think Trey Lance will be starter ready. There's even some people saying that pro day even put him in front of in front. I don't think in front of Zach Wilson, but in front of Justin Fields too. So we'll see. We'll see
A
where
lot
the
of a lot of people are. I see a lot of people are down on Justin Fields.
oh,
A lot of people think he'll be a
me
bust.
too.
yeah, you have no idea. So I was watching the free agent frenzy on NFL Network the other day, and they have their mock drafts rolling at the bottom of the screen. I kid you not, one of them had Justin Fields going to the Steelers, dropping all the way to 24. So I don't know.
Because I'll tell you
I
why.
would love that.
Oh, I think
Well,
any of us would.
because I think that Justin Fields gets a bad rap from the reputation that past Ohio State quarterbacks have gotten. Because Ohio
Yeah,
State's never produced a great quarterback in the NFL. So,
yeah, it's basically
like,
yeah.
can you guys name me the last quarterback that made a Pro Bowl as a quarterback that played for Ohio State in the NFL? I can't think of one.
I don't think I can either. No. Yeah, no, I think so. Here's the thing: if I think Justin Fields falls that far, I know sure as hell, what's his face, Mac Jones will definitely be a second round pick. I'm not a big Mac Jones fan. I'm gonna be honest. He played pretty good in the championship,
A lot of people like him.
I'm not
I
sold
think
on.
Mac Jones is a first round pick.
You think he's a first round pick?
I do. I think Mac Jones is a first round pick.
I mean, I think him and Justin Fields kind of share the fact that they had tough schedules. They both played last year, so that they've proven to an extent that they can definitely play on the next level with some of those
Hey,
guys.
I have a question for all of you.
I think
What's up, Brandon?
Do you think Mac Jones will be better than Tua in the NFL?
yes.
I don't know. I think I from what I know, and I think I read this right that I think Waddle. No,
Yeah, that's
not
what I was about to
Waddle.
say. That's what I was
Yeah,
about
I
to say.
think Waddle and
Judy.
Waddle and Judy, they both said that they'd rather have Mac Jones at quarterback over Tua. So I think clearly, like players like Mac Jones more, but you know, I don't think Tua is ready to. I don't think Miami's ready to give up on Tua yet. But yeah, I think Mac Jones won't be bad. I just think given like you know again, it depends on how bad teams want quarterbacks. I think really Atlanta's that deciding factor. Also, the Jets as well. I think the Falcons really have to decide. In my opinion, it's either it's either gonna be Justin Fields, Trey Lance, or it's gonna be Kyle Pitts from Florida. So that's my prediction. I think they should take Kyle Pitts and possibly work something out with with Matt Ryan, possibly trading him, getting a backup quarterback that could maybe play as good as him. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know how that's going to end up there in Atlanta. Um, but let's keep looking at the free agency tracker here.
Hey, Billy, one
What's
thing I do want to say, Do you know who Justin Hardy is?
Justin Hardy, never heard of him.
Me neither, but he just signed a 3-year deal with the Jets.
For does it say how much?
No, it came out 3 minutes ago. I don't think they put anything up for that yet. But
Is he a bigger guy?
he's for the Saints. Let's go Google him to see what.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I'm just gonna keep looking at the ladder here. Yeah, just some names that really pop out to me. I mean, Kenyon Drake from Arizona. Alex, I'll ask you this. Uh, Arizona obviously might give up Kenyon Drake here. What are the chances that Arizona takes a running back in the first round?
I would say slim to none. I think they're very happy with Chase Edmonds. I think he proved himself in his limited opportunities last year. I think he can be that 3-down workhorse back for them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you.
yeah. I hope as a Steelers fan or any fans who hope that you get a running back later in the draft. I think I hope that they don't. I hope that they don't take a running back. I don't. As an unbiased standpoint, I don't think they should take a running back either. I think if you literally have a no name at running back right now, I think that that's not a bad idea. Which I think the Steelers are in
Steelers
that kind.
better get running back.
Yeah, listen, if the Steelers don't get a running back with ETN or Harris, I won't be that mad. But I think there's still some decent running backs later, like round 2. If Javonte Williams falls from North Carolina, I think that's a great pick.
He's a stud.
He is really good.
I think he's going to be a superstar running back.
Yeah, and he also could bring good value with the second round pick. And if he falls that low, that would not be a bad idea. As far as that running back class, again, they're not deep, but the ones that are there are good. Both North Carolina running backs. I think Javonte Williams is a lot better than the other one, but I think I don't know if Travis Etienne is a perfect fit for Pittsburgh and what we're trying to do with our offense. I do like Najee Harris though. Power back in Pittsburgh, that kind of brings back that old power mentality in the Steel City. So I think that'd be the best move for the Steelers as far as that goes. Let's keep looking here. Well, I mean, we missed the big one, Juju Smith-Schuster. We haven't gotten any news about him yet. Mike, I'll ask you. Very blatant. Where's Juju going? Where do you think?
Well, 3 places actually. All right, no, 2. Actually, no, 3.
Actually,
The
no.
Jets, I could see him going to because they do have 51 million in cap space and they need all the help they can get. I can see the Ravens. They don't really have that many receivers or that many good receivers.
Yeah.
And the Jags. The Jags need all the help they can get, honestly.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I think all of those. I think some of them. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I think some of them don't make any sense. The Jags right now, if they don't shop Chark, they're set. You have Chenault, who is a young star. Chark has a lot of speed, and then now you have Marvin Jones, who I don't really think fits in that 3 receiver tandem. But I also don't think that it'd be a waste of money if Jacksonville went with Juju there. For the Jets is the only one I actually can still see. However, having 2 receivers that share the same skill set in Corey Davis and Juju, you like to have like that's why Kansas City it actually worked a little bit. Even though Sammy Watkins wasn't crazy, he's a good complement to Tyreek Hill, and obviously Travis Kelsey's there too. But he was a good complement to Tyreek Hill, and that sort of like not deep threat, but speed and size. And Baltimore is the one I really agree with. I've said this from the beginning before any of these signings happen. I think Juju becomes the bad guy here. I think he stays in the same division, signs for a boatload of money in Baltimore. I think they will pay him. Both of you down below me are shaking no. Brandon, why is that?
Because I don't think Juju's going there. I think Juju will end up on the Las Vegas Raiders to replace Nelson Aguilar.
I didn't even think of that.
Why I'm saying is because I saw a tweet last night. I don't know if it was from Rappaport or not, but it was from someone similar to that. They were saying that the Raiders are hot and aggressive on Juju Smith-Schuster. They want him badly, so I think the Raiders will get him. And plus, that's a big market for Juju.
Yeah, exactly. Vegas
Because to me, he wants to play in a big market.
Al.
I think Juju will be a Miami Dolphin in the next couple of days. They have plenty of cap space to work. They desperately need that number one wide receiver. And I think if they sign Juju, then they can look elsewhere with what do they have, the 5th overall pick?
Third.
They wouldn't have to, or they have 3rd overall. Yeah. They wouldn't have to go Jamar Chase. They could go O-line and get two of some protection like Sewell or a Slater or something like that. I think Juju makes the most sense going to Miami.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that too.
that. Well, I mean, Mikey's I sort of agree with. You two made very valid arguments.
I don't see Baltimore.
I don't.
I don't see
what's up?
Baltimore either.
Well, if Juju doesn't go to Baltimore, I could actually see Antonio Brown going to Baltimore to play with his cousin.
Oh, Marquise Brown. Now here's the thing.
Antonio Brown.
I don't even think they're technically cousins. I think
They
that's
might
just
be.
like
It might be.
I heard that they were related somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might maybe like 4th or 5th. Anyway,
fourth or fifth, but
so AB, I think we talked about it before. He put out like a weird tweet. You know how NFL players are. The
Cryptic.
tweets. This is how they communicate to us on what's going on with their their NFL career, stuff like that. AB put out a weird tweet. He deleted it, obviously, because again, that's what players do. He put out a weird tweet saying, "Oh, football's not in my best interest right now. We'll see what happens moving forward." I'm gonna be honest. If he doesn't stay in Tampa Bay, I think he's done. I think he retires. I think this is the end of AB. I think if he honestly, if I was him, I would try to recover from what happened because I'm gonna be honest. If he ends off okay, he could potentially be a Hall of Famer. I think that the
Yes.
seasons that he
he
played
will be. He will.
Easy.
what he did
Especially
in
now since they got a Super Bowl. Easy.
now here's the problem though. Here's the problem. The committee at the Hall of Fame has this very weird algorithm that they don't like players who had off field antics, like To for example. Like they don't like players like that. Shannon Sharp's brother, who was a really good receiver, had some trouble with the law. He is not a Hall of Famer either. Who again, Shannon Sharp's brother, and I forget his name. Mike, do you remember?
Stud.
he played for
Sterling Shepard. I actually watched him film with him. Oh, Shepard. What did I say? Shepard. Who is Sterling Shepard? Who is that?
Thank you. This is the Giants.
Receiver
Yeah.
for the Giants.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played for the Giants. Yeah, but no,
Yes.
Sterling Sharp. I think he won 3 Super Bowls too. So
Let me check. He only played for one team. That was the Packers.
yeah, of course Mike would know who Sterling Sharp is because he played for the Packers. But
He got hurt with the Packers. That's the only reason.
he got hurt, but he played really well. You could argue that he had a better career than Shannon, but again, off-field stuff just killed his career, and I don't like how the Hall of Fame committee does that
It's
because
trash.
it is trash. You have guys who like another one, Chad Ochocinco. I think is another one that comes to mind. He's had
Easy
a
Hall of Famer.
easy Hall of Famer, changed the game of route running forever. The dude, you know when somebody cries because somebody else is route running, he cried when with Devontae Adams released. Mike, I'm sure you've heard of that. But he literally cried when he saw Devontae Adams route running. That's how you know like you've made an impact on the NFL, Mike. If you found anything about Sterling Sharp,
Yeah, Sterling Sharp was a 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first team All
that's
Pro,
what it was. Yeah,
3-time reception leader in 89, 92, and 93, 2-time receiving touchdown leader, NFL receiving yards leader in 92, Packers Hall of Fame, and then in college he has his number retired for the Gamecocks.
I mean if that doesn't yell in your ear, Hall of Fame status, I don't know what does. Again, I don't like the Hall of Fame committee. I think they screw up
It's
a
just
lot.
it's just a bunch of media people.
Yeah,
That like
I think
they
that's
let the
actually
media
how it
dictate
works.
it.
I think that's actually how it works. What's that?
Sterling Sharp has also only played in the NFL for 8 years.
That could probably be why, but in those 8 years he was very dominant. So at least 5 of those 8 years he was a really good football player. I mean, you could even compare that to like Megatron like how his career was short, but still, I mean, I think Sterling Sharp is a Hall of Famer. Let's look and see any other names here pop up. Again, I think I mentioned it earlier. Um, Alalu from the Steelers. I'm sad that he's gone now. That was a big part of our defense as well up front. Um, but actually, guys, I just realized we are actually out of time. We're actually over the time limit right now. Guys, thank you for coming on today. I think we
Thank
got
you.
some good stuff in. Yeah, no problem. I'll see you guys later. So again, we're over the time limit. I'm gonna make sure I'll wrap stuff up here very quickly. Am I lagging? I don't think I'm lagging. But again, you want to be part of the show? You want to help us out? Wonderful. BDIVATB@gmail.com. Also, March Madness bracket. This is easy money, folks. Easy money. Freaking $100 in your pocket if you win. Um, Go check out our Instagram, BDIV_ATB. Follow us for all kinds of updates. I post when the videos are uploaded. So again, I mean, if you're watching right now, go right now. Go like the picture. Go repost it. I think today went wonderful. I think we had a lot. I think like today was very well. I covered what I wanted to cover. Also, LeBron is a part owner of a baseball team now, and the Boston Red Sox. And people are saying that there is rumors that he's going to go to the Celtics. Bullcrap. I don't believe it, and that's where I'm going to end off here. Thursday night, 6 p.m. We're going to be back here, probably with a ton of free agency news. Because I mean, tomorrow is my birthday. It is my birthday. I hope everybody wishes me a happy birthday tomorrow. But tomorrow is the last day for the tampering period for free agency, and then you have April 1st is the very last day. Wait, what are you doing this for? What?
No, I just realized it was your birthday tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you were looking at your phone like this, like
Because I'm looking at the video that I'm gonna post for your birthday on Snapchat.
Okay. He was looking at his phone like a Rappaport tweet came out. I was very concerned. Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah. Anyways, good stream today. Again, March Madness brackets. Fill them out. 3 days left to luck, whether you join mine or not. Yeah, Thursday night, 6 p.m. I can't wait to cover all the free agency stuff. We'll probably get a Juju announcement by then. We'll probably see one tonight or tomorrow. So, again, wish me a happy birthday. And, oh, yes.
Emmanuel Sanders was just signed by the Bills.
Oh, so he'll replace the John Brown.
Yeah.
In a better way. I like Manny Sanders. Okay, thank you, Mike. Yeah, again, like Mike just said, Manny Sanders is now a Saint. Or not a Saint, a Buffalo Bill. He was a Saint. So, yeah. There you have it. Stuff is happening by the minute. So please, again, subscribe. Go subscribe down there right now. Do it. Also, follow our Twitch, follow our Instagram. And remember, I love tater tots, and we'll see you guys later.